Hello everyone, what is going on? We're back with the Camry because that's the only car I own, but we have an awesome video for you because I've always wanted to be able to adjust my fuel and air ratio without getting a tune. Because honestly, look, if you're a guy like me driving a car like this, you don't have enough money for a standalone ECU or a tune, because you can't tune the ECU that are in these cars. So you got to get a standalone ECU, which is going to cost you $1,000 at minimum, and then you're going to be spending another close to $1,000 for a tune. What's the point in that? That's dumb, right? So I'm here to save you on that. You want to adjust your fuel and air ratio, but you can't. Now, before I tell you how you do this, you're going to need to have an older car probably. Another thing is you're going to need this little thing right here, air temperature sensor. Every car does have one, but some of them are implemented differently. So your car will probably, your newer cars, everything from like 2000 them, will probably have a mass airflow sensor that has this inside of it. So you can't remove it, it's built into it, and it's just how they're built now. Mine does not have a mass airflow sensor. Mine has an air temperature sensor. So I'm gonna tell you exactly how our air temperature sensor works. Basically, when air comes into it, usually if it's colder weather or hotter weather, it will adjust or put more fuel into the engine to counteract that. So that's exactly what it is. Sorry, there's like people driving in. But basically, you get where I'm going with this. This causes a resistance when it gets cold. I was thinking just put it in the AC and then there you get your resistance. So we came up with a better method though. You probably ever heard of the resistance method, where you actually put a resistor in you unplug this and you put a resistor in it to reduce the voltage down to a certain limit. That does work, but it's just, what if you get the wrong thing and you want to change it, or it's not running properly because it's too rich, too lean. So yeah, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know real quick about it. Basically, it runs at 5 volts, and every volt means something. So I'll show you a little something. So this is what I did. I actually just got the temperature wire. I did have to cut it. Make sure you cut enough. Make sure you don't cut it right at the top at the sensor wire. You actually want to be able to keep it just in case you need to replace it. But in my case, I won't be doing that because I don't know. So with my 1996 Camry, remember, you probably will not be able to find a plug to replace it with, because yeah, you're probably not going to find one. But I have these 2 wires going out. It's a little janky, but it's going to lead back into the engine, into the firewall. So here's what I did. Instead of having a resistor, I actually just put a knob on it. See, I can adjust the air and fuel ratio right here on the knob. So it's pretty simple actually. Just plug, if you have a 3-wire one, it will still work with the 3-wire. You basically just want to use the white and black one, or if it's a red, just ignore the red. And it does not need anything else. It just works like that. So that's all you need. This is also my switch panel for lights and everything. And yeah, that's how you do it. And here's the question though. You guys are probably wondering this. Does it work? Because like, why do it if it doesn't work? I'm gonna tell you right now, on older cars, you get what you get, okay? It's an old car, it's gonna learn very slowly. I would say, if your sensor is not working and you're doing this, well, if you want backfire, you're probably doing this to get backfire, or pops and bangs to get the higher fuel ratio, or you wouldn't be messing with it. Yes, you can get pops and bangs. I would say that. But don't expect you can do this with just a stock exhaust system. This is a Camry. Got a stock exhaust system in it, stock exhaust parts, meaning these parts are going to be resisting all the heat. I mean all the pops and bangs that you want. It's all going to be, it's not really going to be there. I could show you a video of it popping and banging right now. I actually have a muffler delete, but I have an old catalytic converter, so it could just be running completely fine. But I will be doing some more muffler upgrades in the future to get, or more exhaust upgrades to make this thing pop and bang on the ready. But well, you guys are wondering what it does. So yeah, you got to be careful with this stuff though. I'm gonna say this for now, because doing this, you could mess up your car. Don't expect to destroy your car, because you can crank this thing all the way to the right and it's not gonna, when it leans out, it's actually not gonna hurt it. But even if you turn it all the way to the left or rich in it, it's not gonna hurt it. But I'm just saying there is a chance there that you could mess up your car. So yeah. So here's some things you need to know if you're gonna do this with this knob. Number one thing is the plus. If the higher voltage means less resistance, which means it's gonna run leaner. Means that there's gonna be more air than fuel. When you turn it to the left, or turn it to get a lower voltage, then you actually will get a richer mixture, because it will be delivering more fuel to counteract the cold weather. But there's no cold weather, it's just artificial cold weather. But coming on that, how does the ECU know that you're just not tricking it? So you actually want to turn it very slowly. Do not crank it all the way to the side, because it could pop up an air code or an engine light because of that. So you could mess up the ECU by turning it way too quickly, because it knows something's wrong with it. So some cars do that, mine doesn't, but some do. So I'm going to show you what happens when you do turn it on. I'm just going to put this, I actually have it on a good tune right now. So I have it tuned to this because this is like the best performance I can get out of it right here. So everything else is a little too lean, everything else is a little bit too rich. So yeah. Okay. So see, that's what it looks like. Let me just stop moving. You probably won't be able to notice the change, but I'll try to make it noticeable. See, it moves a little bit there, but then the auto calibrates back. Let's clean it up. See, it moves up a little bit there. A little bit there, that's just because it's adjusting to the new fuel ratio. So, yeah, it does make a little change when you're sitting here in idle. I would say right now, don't expect instant results. You're gonna have to run this for a couple days. I had to run it for a whole day, 24 hours running it and just driving it everywhere, until I actually started getting some backfire like what I wanted, or wanted to get some, you know, the fuel ratio I want. Don't expect to get crazy amount of backfires. You're not gonna have two-step level of backfires here, or a turboed car, for example. You're not gonna have the same backfire because, yeah, remember you have a stock exhaust system, and it can't crank it all the way. You're not gonna get the highest fuel ratio that's possible. But yeah. And one more thing, before you do this, before you get mad at me, you need a tuning chip. You see it in there? You need a tuning chip to do this. Preferably a one that's at the highest stage. Highest stage tuning chip would probably work the best, because you're gonna need that for the best results. So, and my dad actually brought this up, but what if you put a higher octane fuel in it? I don't know if that would work, but it sounds crazy enough that it might actually work, because technically you can adjust the air and fuel ratio, so it might actually work. But we'll save that for another video. I don't recommend doing that until I make a video on it, because I mean, I'd rather ruin my car than ruin your guys' cars. So yeah. Well, yeah, that's all this video, and that's how you adjust your air and fuel ratio with no tune. So yeah, I mean, it's a good upgrade. Just remember, you're kind of deleting a sensor that kind of tells the engine in different conditions. But if you're willing to be messing around with your car all the time, make it run perfect, then yeah, just do it. But I mean, yeah. But remember, again, you might want to keep the plug, have a little bit of wires at the end. So yeah. Also, other note with the Camry, my steering pump, my steering pump has been messing up. One day I just started driving, and the wheel was stiff. It wasn't like completely stiff, but it was kind of giving, then locking up, giving, and then locking up. Kind of like, it wasn't fully locked, but it was just a little, like there was something blocking it. So I'm gonna have to get some Seafoam trans tuner and put it in there, and I'm gonna hopefully break free whatever is inside the system that's making it freeze up a little bit. And yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Here's the awesome Camry. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.